College Algebra, Joshua Pastor Tamondong, JK College, BFA. This is my presentation. Linear functions, week 2. What is a linear function? Linear function are those whose graph is a straight line. A linear function has the following form: y equals fx equals a plus bx. A linear function has the one independent variable and the one dependent variable. The independent variable is x and the dependent variable is y. The 4 way to graph a linear function. We graph linear function with table point slope, form slope, intercept form, or standard form. Graphing linear functions. There are 3 basic methods of graphing linear functions. The first is by plotting points and then drawing a line through the points. The second is by using the y-intercept and slope. And the third is by using transformation of the identity functions. Graphing function by plotting points. Graphing function by plotting points. To find points of a function, we can choose input values, evaluate the functions at these input values, and calculate output values. The input values and corresponding output values form coordinate pairs. We then plot the coordinate pairs on a grid. Y-intercept and slope. The slope-intercept formula y equals mx plus b is used when you know the slope of the line to be examined and the points given is also the y-intercept. 0, b, and the formula b represent the y value of the y-intercept point. Transformation of the identity functions. The identity functions is a function which returns the same value which was used as its argument. It is also called an identity relations or identity map or identity transformation. If f is a function, then identity relations for argument is x is represented as fx equals x for all values of x. What are the 4 types of linear graphs? Vertical line graphs, horizontal line graphs, simple line graph, multiple line graphs, and compound line graphs. Vertical line graph. Vertical line charting is a technique used by technical traders and marketing technicians to track the price moves of a security. In vertical line charting, the price action over a specified period is summarized by a vertical bar. Horizontal line graph. A horizontal line on any chart is where the y-axis value are equal. If it has been drawn to show a series of high in a data point moving above the horizontal line would indicate a rise in the y-axis value over recent value and the data sample. What is simple line graph? A simple line graph is the most basic types of line graph. In this graph, only one dependent variable is tracked. so there is only a single line connecting all data points on the graph. All points on the graph relate to the same item, and the only purpose of the graph is to track the change of that variables over time. Multiple line graph and compound line graph. Multiple line graph, more than one line is plotted on the same set of axes. A multiple line graph can effectively compare similar items over the same period of time. Compound line graph. If information can be subdivided into two or more types of data, these types of line graph is called a compound line graph. What is linear function and its graph example? A linear function is a function that represents a straight line on the coordinate plane. For example, y equals 3x minus 2 represent a straight line on a coordinate plane, and hence it represents a linear function. Since y can be replaced with fx, this function can be written as f column x equals 3x minus 2. Finding slope and intercept. Definition of slope and intercept. The slope-intercept formula y equals mx plus b is used when you know the slope of the line to be examined and the point given is also the y-intercept column 0 and b. In the formula, b represent the y value of the y-intercept point. Simple formula for slope. Use the slope formula to find the slope of a line given the coordinates of 2 points on the line. The slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1, or the change in the y values over the change in the x values. The coordinate of the first point represent x1 and y1. The coordinates of the second points are x2 and y2. Calculate a slope. Percent of slope is determined by dividing the amount of elevation changed by the amount of horizontal distance covered, sometimes referred to as the rise divided by the run, and then multiplying the result by 100. Finding slope using two of the points on the line. You can find the slope of the line by finding the rise and the run. The vertical change between 2 points is called the rise, and the horizontal change is called the run. The slope equal the rise divided by the run. Slope equal rise run. Slope equal rise run. How do you find the intercept of a graph? Since 2 points determine any line, we can graph line using the x and y intercept to find the x-intercept. Set y equals 0 and solve for x. To find the y-intercept, set x equals 0 and solve for y. This method of finding x and y-intercept will be used throughout our study of algebra because it works for any equation. Writing equation in the slope-intercept form and point-slope form. Slope-intercept form. The equation of the line is written in the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. where M represent the slope and B represent the y-intercept. The slope-intercept formula: y equals mx plus b. Find the equation of the line that has a slope of 2/3 and a y-intercept of 0 and 4. Solution. Step 1. Substitute the given into the formula. Step 2. Verify. Plot 2 points using the formula for this example. y1 equals 2 and y2 equals -6. Example 2. Continue step 2. Next, the x and y value are substituted into the slope formula. Since the slope formula using the 2 points is also 2/3, the formula is correct. Step 3. Graph. Slope form. Point slope is the general form y minus y1 equals m x minus x1 for linear equations. It emphasizes the slope of the line and a point on the line that is not the y-intercept. Formula: y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Y coordinate of second points. y1 coordinates of points 1, m is slope, x coordinate of second point, x1 coordinate of point 1. The point slope formula: y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Example 1. Find the equation of the line that has a slope of 1/3 and continues the point 2 and -1. Solution: since the information given is a point and the point slope formula is used. Step 1. Substitute the given into the formula. Step 2. Calculate P2. Select any value uv for x or y and substitute into the equation found in step 1. For the example, y will equal to Example 1. Continue. Step 3. Verify. When any 2 points of a line are substituted into a slope formula, the slope of the line should be the answer. In this case, when P1 and P2 are substituted into the slope formula, the answer should be 1/3. Step 4. Graph. Difference between slope-intercept form and intercept form. The main difference between the slope-intercept form of a line and the point-slope form of a line is that their equations are in different forms and that they are derived using different pieces of information about the line.